everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Welcome to the last TBR of the year. How are we here? How is 2023 almost done? 2023 has been like a weird reading month for me. I'm planning a whole video where we talk about it, so I won't go into details, but I feel like I was not able to follow any type of TBR, but I still kept doing these videos because I like doing them. I would read like maybe one book out of 10 from that TBR, but one is better than none, right? Today I'm going to pick out 5 books instead of the usual 10, only because I already filmed and posted a video where I chose 10 books that I would want to read before the end of the year. That's already 10 books. If I add another 10 books, it might just be too much. So I don't think I can read 20 books in a month. I mean, I could, but let's be realistic. I don't think I could realistically read 10 books in a month. 20 books in a month, maybe 10, but I don't think I could read 20. So because I already have 10 books on my December TBR technically, because I don't think I said, but that video where I chose 10 books was for my end of the year TBR, which is technically a December TBR, so that I don't have 20 books on my TBR for this month, and so that I'm not like completely overwhelmed, I'm going to do 5 books today instead of 10. I hope that's okay, but if you're looking for the rest of my TBR, there's the video. You can go watch it. So today, of course, we're going to choose them out of my TBR jar. So we're going to choose 5 books out of this. So used to saying 10, I was going to say 10, but 5 books today. Definitely hoping for some Christmas books. I am open to anything. So let's get started right away and get our first book. Turns out it's a repeat from November TBR. It's from Blood and Ash, so I'm in my room right now. I gotta go get it. Alright, so from Blood and Ash, you most likely already know about this book. I personally read it at the beginning of 2021. I think it was 2021. And I tried reading the second one, but I wasn't really getting into it. I think I was like not vibing with reading a lot of fantasy like back to back, so I just put it down. But now it's been like kind of too long since I read this, so I want to reread it. I'm glad it's on the TBR again. I didn't get a chance to pick it up in November because look at her. She's really big. No, I should not do that. You guys remember when I did that in November with From Look Up With Love? I posted a video on TikTok and it went viral, and the comments are so divided. Some people are like, yes, I love breaking spines. And then the other half of the comments are like, you are a book monster. So I'm not gonna do it again. I mean, this one like is a little less stiff than the other one, but look, that's in the past. I'm not doing that again. But this is an adult fantasy, but romantasy more specifically. This is from Jennifer L. Armentrout, and she has written a lot of books. There's 2.5 pages worth of books. There's so much, and it's just like, you know, when you watch a TV show, I personally want a TV show with a lot of episodes so that I can be entertained for longer. This is how I feel with this author, because she has so many books. It's just like you can be entertained for a very long time if you read all of her books. This is, like I said, is a fantasy romance, and it's between this maiden and this guy who is kind of weird, I think. I read this before. But yeah, the maiden is Poppy. Her life has never been her own. She can never be touched. She can never be looked upon. She can never be spoken to. She can never experience pleasure. Waiting for the day of her ascension, she would rather be with the guards, fighting back the evil that took her family, than preparing to be found worthy by the gods. But the choice has never been hers. And then the entire kingdom's future rests on Poppy's shoulder. She's not even quite sure she wants for herself. So it sounds really interesting. My favorite thing about this book, or like this book series, is the covers. Come on, these are some of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen, and I thought that 2 years ago. I still think that 2 years later, but I'm falling way behind with this book series because I never kept going, and now this series is like 7 books long. I feel like if I want to read the series, I need to do that like sooner than later, because what if it becomes like a 10-book series and then it's like 2 overwhelming for me to start, you know? So first book on the TBR. I might have time to read this because my exams are done on December 19th, and that gives me like a good like 10 days to just read and not even care about university things. So first book on the TBR. All right, so book number 2 now. Did I say I was looking for some holiday romances? I'm gonna read them anyways, but it's fun to have one on the TBR, you know? Book number 2. Oh, interesting. I don't think this book ever came on at TBR this year, and my boyfriend will be very happy to see I dropped it. But it's The Hobbit. So yeah, this is a very interesting one because I never feel drawn to this book, but I really like the movies. Well, not the movie of this one, but the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings. Every time I hear a song from the soundtrack, I'm like, it's so good. But I'm never drawn to the book for some reason. But maybe this will be the month that I read this finally, because like I want to read this one day, like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. It's a high fantasy, okay? If you know me, that's not my dream usually. So I have this beautiful copy of The Hobbit. It is kind of, it has seen better days. It's okay though, like it's my fault. This was $40. I paid $40 for this. No way. Anyways, like I said, my boyfriend will be happy to see this here because he loves Lord of the Rings so much. So like I said, I am interested to read it, but it is a high fantasy. But I mean, there are illustrations in this which could make it more easier than like usual high fantasies. Anyways, I know that I'm going to enjoy this a lot when I read it. We'll see if that will be in December or not. Like I said, for the other book, I have a good 10 days of like no university. 10 days of December where I have no exams. So I might read it at that point during the month. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. You just have to like follow me on Instagram to know. Or watch my December wrap up. Alright, with book number 3. This is gonna go so fast compared to like my usual 10. Maybe we should do 7. Should we do 7? No. Let's do 5. That's like my overachiever self talking. Ooh, Gallant. I think I actually started that book like 2 months ago, but I never kept going. But I recently read Caraval in November. And not that Gallant is giving me like the same vibes as Caraval, but it's giving me like creepy vibes. And Caraval was definitely like creepy, weird. So maybe, I feel like because I've read Caraval, I might want to read Gallant now because I really like Caraval. So Gallant, like I said, I started this. I even have 2 tabs. I don't really know why I didn't keep going. I think I was just not into fantasy when I started this, but like I said, I recently read Caraval, which was really spooky and weird and eerie, and this is giving me those vibes minus like the circus. So I might pick this up because like I might be in the mood for this month. Everything has a shadow, even the world we live in. So are we talking like shadow world, like another dimension type thing? I don't know. I don't want to know. I want to go in this blind. Like I read 1 chapter. I don't remember anything. So I did read Addie LaRue and I really liked it. So I probably need to keep going with V.E. Schwab's books. But I only read Addie LaRue. That's it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm glad this is on the final TBR. Again, I think this would be a book I read when I don't have exams to focus on. That like little span of time in December is getting so filled up with books to read. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but we shall see when we get there. But I'm glad this is on the TBR. It matches my nail. Look at that, that's so cute. I've heard like mixed things about this one actually. So I'm excited to see what I think about it. Book number 4, One Night on the Island, which is a summary book, but like that's fine, right? That's fine. Now this book is a lot more my speed because these has been fantasy books. But this one is a literary fiction with some romance in it. And it is like a summary book, I think. It takes place on an island, but I'm fine with it because why not? I have a feeling that this is going to be more about the love story rather than like the island. Also, I have a book from Book of the Month coming by this author. It's a holiday one, but it would be nice to be familiar with her writing before reading that one, or you know, I rarely read like 2 books from the same author in the same month, but I might with this one. So this is called One Night on the Island. I didn't say that. Cleo is spending her 30th birthday alone, and she is a dating columnist, and then she plans a solo retreat on a remote Irish island. She wants to do self-care and figure out what are the next steps in her love life and career. And then comes in Max Sullivan, and he's also looking forward to some time to himself. And there's a mix-up with the bookings, which means that they have to share the place. I love this type of trope. I'm just thinking, you know, what's it called? Barbarian, I think, the movie. It's a horror movie, and that's how it starts. I don't think this is gonna go that way, but just saying, that's exactly how it starts. 2 people booking the same night at the same place on accident, like a mix-up. But I think this is gonna be much lighter. And then as the days go by, they no longer seem to mind the other's company quite as much as they thought they would. That sounds so heartwarming. And even though, I mean, is it like summery? Maybe more like spring, or I am excited to have this on the TBR, even though it feels summery. Maybe I'm just saying summer because it's yellow, but I've decided that I do not need to read according to the seasons. That's just my new rule now that I've picked this up and it's on the TBR. So yes, I feel like this is going to be a light read, but it is a literary fiction, so it might take some like little turns here and there of a bit more drama. I'm excited to see. And final book, because we're only doing 5, which is not a lot, but I already have 10 books on my TBR right now. This is gonna be 15 books. That's a lot. It's going to be, ooh, Bunny. Yeah, I'm glad about that. Finally, the next book, last book, Bunny by Mona Awad. I've heard just amazing things about this. I've seen some people say it's their favorite book. I'm pretty sure it's like something of like a cult, but not really. Some people like kind of look like a cult because they do everything like the same way. I think I might be like mixing up some books and stories, but they call themselves the bunnies. She receives, well, Samantha, our main character, receives an invitation to the bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. So I'm thinking like kind of like a weird culty group, maybe not cult, but you know what I mean, like a group that's kind of weird. They do everything together, and then this girl Samantha gets to experience it, go there, but she has to ditch her only friend to go there, and then dramatic friendships start to like break for the sake of being part of the bunnies. And it's a rather short book, so I'm curious to see just how this author manages to put like everything in this book. And Margaret Atwood, who wrote The Handmaid's Tale, I think, says that, Bunny, you are so genius. So I feel like this is gonna be a good book. I feel like I'm gonna like this. I really like weird type of like thrillers or books. I don't know, this says fiction on the back. Somebody could tell me the exact genre of this book, that'd be nice. But it's on the TBR, very happy about it. All right, before I go, I'm just going to quickly talk about 3 books for my 3 book clubs. These are the December picks. So for my first book club, called I keep messing that up, called Fantasy for Romance Readers, which is a romancy book club, we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I've only heard amazing things about this. I cannot wait to see what the hype is. This is a gothic fantasy, and then our main character needs a monster, but the monster might be her. Nothing comes for free, especially magic. It sounds mysterious, and I'm intrigued, and I know a lot of people wanted this book to be the book last month. It is now. If you want to join and read this with us, the link is in my bio. Look at this cover too, it's beautiful. Then this is for my Isn't It Romantic book club, a romance book club, because I'm a romance girl. Why wouldn't I have a romance book club? We are reading The Mistletoe Motive, which is a novella, so really quick if you want to join us and read this. It's by Chloe Lazy. Only When It's Us and Better Hate Than Never, or something like that. 2 Wrongs Make a Right. You know the books, you know what I mean. She wrote this novella. I've heard amazing things about this one too. I'm actually thinking of reading this next, like today. It's holiday, of course. I really wanted a holiday book for my romance book club, so I put a bunch. I put 4 holiday books in the poll, and this one won. So we will be reading this. I will be reading this month very soon. And it's just a quick read if you want to reach your reading goal, you know? Lastly, we are reading The Hunger Games. Me and my sister's book club called Two Sisters in a Book. We chose The Hunger Games. Well, we put it in the poll and people chose The Hunger Games. But I'm so happy because in my 10 before the end video, I said I wanted to read The Hunger Games, and now it's our book pick, so perfect. I'll be able to read it in December. I've read this already, so it's a reread, but I just want to experience this again, and this time with a big dosage of nostalgia. So perfect. This is our book club. It's linked down below. You want to read The Hunger Games with us, either for the first time or for a reread, feel free to join us. Alrighty, so these are the books for December, plus 10 more that are in a separate video. December is my exam session, my finals, but I will read as much as I can anyway. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down this emoji. I love knowing who made it to the end. It's really fun. It's very heartwarming. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a wonderful day after this. I have all of my links down below, including those Fable book clubs, if you want to follow me on socials. And on that note, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye!